Hi there, and welcome back to Triplicate. And last time we worked on the hardware anyway, we got this guy working, which is one of our finger strings based on a zigzag of thin copper track, which gives us enough resistance to make if you like, potentiometer out of. So now we need to make 4 of those together, built up with all the spacing and the copper tape on, and I thought this was a good time to change the base out of this weird shaped thing, because all this stuff is going, and that's going, sadly, because that cost me a decent amount of money. So we need, well, let's go on, let's do it. Let's unplug it and get rid of that. We need to retain the turntable and the main Nucleo board or transfer them onto our new board and mount our new string arrangements. Okay, so here is a brand new shiny white piece of shelf board. Cost a triplicate price of I think 11 or 12 pounds, and this is where our finger strings are going to go. Those are the other 4 boards. The turntable, well, which is about that size, will go here, and the circuit board probably here, leaving room for a nice big logo there. However, the first job, I'm going to build these up, and since you've seen me build, well, bits of the first one, I am going to build them off camera and test them, and then the fun can begin. Okay, so here, put that away there. Okay, so here they are, built and tested, and with wires attached, and a tick to show they're tested. We have quality control here at Triplicate. Okay, and that's how they are all going, and here we have our mounting bits of plastic. Now the first thing is the one on the end there. These pink wires come out and attach to the copper tape that forms the top contact. So those pink wires are going to have to go through the side of this end one, so I need to put some kind of a groove in the top there, and then I need to peel this paper off, and then we can stick them down to their mounts, and we're getting there. Okay, so yeah, just cut some slots in there with a bandsaw, which will go there. So might not put that one on first. I'm just trying to work out in my head, thinking aloud here, how I'm gonna make sure all these are, I mean, it doesn't have to be hugely brilliantly square or anything. So I think the best thing to do is actually turn them over and glue these on the back. So I will do that. Alright, here we have one. We've got the just finding another bit, the sticky paper off the top, which is always a bit of a pain because I guess it's intended for labels which aren't intended to be taken off. However, here we go. So here we have the double-sided sticky, and we're going to stick a run of that on there, like that. And I realised I was going to go and sand these and try and pretty them up a bit, but do you know what, I'm not. It's a prototype. Just has to work. On we go. And the tape pokes over the side a bit, but again, do I care? No. So, just got to get the backing off. There we go, ready to go. Let's stick this one on here. Right, let's have my liner up a ruler. They look good again. It doesn't matter if it's 1/2 millimeter out. I'm out. Okay, we're going with that. I think we're going with that. I think we've done it. Well, there's one. Okay. Scraped rather than try to peel the paper off that, which is a bit quicker but a bit messier. So where are we? Another run of this stuff. Let's try and get it between the lines, because we don't really want it on here. Can you see that? Get off my fingers. There we go. Sticky fingers now. Right. Let's see if we can get the backing off. Okay, we'll put it on this one. It's mini going loopy because there's a UPS man across the road. There we go. Right, the van is parked on the opposite side of the road and the guy's delivering a parcel across the road. But still mini is going loopy. Oh well. Right, there is 2 on, nice and sturdy. We flip her over, look at that. Yeah, I'm liking it. Right, I will actually film putting this end one on because it's going to be quite fun with the wires. A bit of entertainment, and then I'll just zip the rest on myself and not film it. Alright, so let's get our run of tape along here. From there to about there, shall we say? Oh, get off. I've got that. It'll do. It'll do. Right, I need to cut it by these little slots so I can get the wire through. I'm actually cutting it just either side of the hole. Well, that's a bit more than just. Rather than trying to cut along the edge of the whole slot and then just take the whole lot off. Supposedly. Come on. Right, so I think all we need to do now is take the backing off Okay, and it goes this away, I think. No, it goes this away. Well, it's down. It'll do. It'll do. Right, so I shall now do the others off camera. Okay, here it is. All done, ready to go. And that's where it's going to sit approximately. Now I'm not going to stick it down initially because I have to transfer from this one here, the turntable, and the Nucleo, and I may well end up having to drill holes somewhere in here to accommodate them, and I want to do that before I stick this down, because you can guarantee I'd knock it while I was drilling holes, kind of thing I do. Okay, so I will get the turntable and Nucleo somehow mounted, and we will reconvene then. Okay, nothing ever easy. I have not made this in a very good way. So that goes onto there with these 4 screws here, and there are 4 holes in the turntable to access them, and they screw into this bit of chipboard, which is held down with 4 more screws onto the base. And if I lift that off, well, and that all has to line up so that the little magnet on the bottom is reasonably precisely over the top of that chip. So I think I must have started up with the chip and this, and then anyway, I might actually, it's not a matter of just taking it off and putting it down again. I might have to think about it. Also, this thing is mounted on 4 plastic screws. I'll just undo them, which are actually drilled through the base plate, which is so I've got to drill those accurately, and then mount this, drill these accurately, which I have no idea how I endeavoured to do this at all accurately. And then, so there we are, 4 screws going through, and some small washers, and those screws, yeah, I just pushed it in, are actually all the way through. Okay, okay, so I've attached this down, and what I've decided to do, firstly, the sensor board I am going to stick down with double-sided sticky in the middle somewhere, and here I've got, if we can, 4 of those little guys in the bottom plate, and screwed in with 4 screws and these strips of metal which were just chopped off some brackets. So there is, I've screwed them down too hard, a little bit of play in this. So what I'm going to do is there's a magnitude signal comes out of the sensor chip, and I can just shuffle it all about till the magnet here is optimally over the chip. Unfortunately I only had slotted screws, and as you can see the turntable is over the top, so it's going to be a bit of a problem screwing them up. I might order some button head ones, because then I'll be able to get an Allen key in. It's going to be a bit fiddly with whatever way, but whatever. So next I might get the board in, which will go in around and abouts there, and again I don't know. I shall have to think. Okay, I know we're kind of a bit in the realms of bodging here, but you can see that these are the little pillars, threaded pillars Nucleo was attached to. Pillar goes in tie wrap base, blather in there of hot melt glue, warming up, and that'll do for now. And I'll order some proper stick down PCB pillars, or some kind of PCB pillars, rather than just drilling 3 more holes which will be in the wrong place and sticking screws up. No, I don't want to be bothered. Okay, so that's the next job. Right, there we go. Push those in a bit far. Anyway, so let us, marks are approximately where I want it, so let us peel off the backing and see if this is gonna, yep, that lives there, so shall we say there. Yep, that's good enough. Good enough. Right, so now I've got to try and fight the STM32 IDE to try and get the code to look at the magnitude of the signal, the rotation chips receiving, so I can line it up. Every time I try and use that IDE on an older file, it just fights me every minute of the way. It's a bit annoying. Anyway, I'm not going to bother making videos or anything about it this time, because I've made, I think, 2. So off we go. I'm sure I'll suss it out. Okay, start a new workspace. Import the CubeMX file, the input-output definition file. Generate new source files from that, and then combine the old source files and the new source files, and about a day and a half later we get back to where we started. So I am going to, as of now, this is their main function that's generated by CubeMX, and all I'm doing is calling main test2, and that just goes into my code here, which is doing this, which is merely attempting to test the strength of the magnet signal for the rotation sensor, so I can move it around and optimize that. And if we're looking here, we have status registers, and we have AGC, which is the automatic gain control, which turns the gain down for the more signal you have, and you get a magnitude of the signal, but that I think depends on the automatic gain control. Anyway, we will look at those and see what happens, and I have changed the code, the test code for the STM32, the rotation test code. So let's see how that performs. Okay, so I've stuck the magnet board down to the top here temporarily. I've got a piece of 0.5mm plastic card on top of it because 0.5mm is the ideal separation, they say, betwixt magnet and chip. I've got another of our little magnets here. So let us see what happens to our signal strength. Right, so let's start this. There we go. And it is chugging away. And the AG's 0 and the mag is 8000, 80, so they're both hex. So let us plonk our little magnet over the top. So the magnitude goes down to 4008 and the AGC is showing AC. Okay, so I'm going to just stick it down in the middle and we're going to try and adjust it using our inconclusive AGC control level method. Hang on, let's see what happens. So I'm going to space it with a piece of this, which is 1mm plastic card. Of course I can't be bothered to drill 4 holes in and muck around, and it was spaced up on washers which were about 1mm thick. So to line the thing up, I have got a little bit of paper with 4 holes in. I'll stuff the little bit of paper in there like that and I'll get a marker pen, and I'm just going to hold that down. Hopefully I've not just pushed 4 holes in, and the corners of these squares are where the holes are on the board, so that should enable us to line it up. So if I take this out now, hopefully there should be 4 nice little holes. So I want a piece of plastic card about yay wide so it misses the pins, and about yay long. Okay, absolute precision engineering here as usual. There we go. Stick it down there like that. There we go. Peel that off. Line her up, we hope. Looks good to me. Right, a little bit on this side. Right, before we put it down, we've got to get this out of the way because the wire's got to run through the channel under here. I'm just wondering if I can lift it up and slide it under there. No, let's take it off. Got to be slide it around so the board goes in there. Come on, that's it. That's got it. So that wire wants to go that way and line the holes of the board up with easy dots. Right, I like it. Oh, that's spaghetti. Right. Screw it down again. Okay. So right, that with the splodge on goes there. And somewhere we have some screws, 3-4 screws. Right, all back together. So let us power it up. Where's the power? And let's start the monitor program. Well, I am not sure what those AG, CG and MAG values are actually telling us, to be honest. So let's... Okay, you can't get the staff anymore, especially at the rate triplicates pay. Got my registers wrong. So the AGC register is 80, which I think is a half, I think it's 1 byte, the whole of it. And the magnitude is 61B, and that's 12 bits, goes up to F, so it's nearly half. And if I go over here and spin the turntable, you get a bit of a change in that, as you would probably expect. And I played around with it and it didn't seem to make a difference to the magnitude of the signal where I'd shuffled the turntable. So for now I'm going to call that good, after a lot of effort to get back to where we were. And now we move on to the interesting bit of getting our strings working. Well, actually, sorry, I think I'm going to end this one here, and we'll actually get on to mounting the strings in the next one. We have made progress, but not as much as I would have liked. It is 3 steps forward, 4 steps back, or 4 steps forward, 3 steps back. Don't know. You understand now why commercial synthesizer developers just stick a keyboard on the front with and drop in their existing code. Deary me. So until the next exciting episode when the strings actually get mounted, it's goodbye from Triplicate. Goodbye.